August 9th, 2013. This is Whale Blue PRS. Hey, that's a perfect fire, isn't it? That would be a fun way to start this pistol review. And I'm going to do something a little different here for me, not so different for somebody else. What I decided to do was, I've been a subscriber to the Nut and Fancy project for, I don't know, about 3 years now. And a lot of people have been requesting a review on the Smith & Wesson M&P 9, and it looks like either he's got one and he's in the midst of reviewing it, or I read somewhere along the way he's been having trouble getting one, and I'm referring to Nut and Fancy, of course. So what I decided to do was I would do a poor man's version as a tribute. This is not intended to be a rip-off. This is not intended to be, hey, I'm going to copy what he's doing because I have nothing else to offer, which might be true in and of itself. But this is really just intended to be, I guess, a substitute until the real official one comes out. So with that in mind, I'll show you I did this for fun. I thought it'd be fun to start off with a nice campfire in my backyard, basically. I don't know, about 150 yards from my house on my own property here. And I thought a fire in the background would be nice, so I'm just going to let this burn out as I talk. Let's get down to the review. And I thought this would be really fun. We'll do the pistol review by Whale Blue PRS, and we'll talk about all the talking points that Nut and Fancy would typically talk about when he does his reviews. Well, we're going to start things off here talking about philosophy of use. So here it is. It's unloaded, no magazine. See, empty chamber. We're good. Let me drop the hammer. Even put the safety on. We'll really make everybody happy. Alright, philosophy of use. As you can see, I conceal carry it. That's its primary use, in my opinion. I think that's obviously what it was designed for, was to conceal carry, to have with you, God forbid, should you need it. Been carrying it, let's see, in August now, I guess about 4 months, and I found it's very, very comfortable. I really do like having it. Another philosophy of use would be for competition, I think, like an IDPA or an IPSC or some sort of competition along those lines. This being rounds limited would be ideal against revolvers. So if you've got someone who's competing with a 6, 7, or 8 shot revolver, this would fall nicely against those without an unfair advantage. My XD9 is 16-1. And that's 3 reloads on a 6-shooter, and none for me. So I have the distinct advantage there. So I think in that type of a competition, this would be an outstanding pistol. Of course, just for fun, it would be recreational. Any firearm that you own, you can use recreationally, whether they're affordable or whether they're enjoyable to shoot or anything. That's a whole other subject. Okay, talking about size and weight, that's the next talking point here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reference another video that I did that will be a comparison between the M&P 9 Shield and the XD9 Springfield, and it'll give some idea on weight, carry weight. To me personally, I couldn't care less about the unloaded weight. Really doesn't mean a whole lot, because you're not going to carry a 20-ounce pistol or a 20-ounce revolver. You're going to carry a 25-ounce pistol or a 25-ounce revolver, until you factor in your holster and your ammunition of choice and extra magazines or moon clips, whatever it is that you carry on you, that factors in. So to me, the viability of the unloaded weight is less important. Next on the discussion here is firepower. Comes with 2 magazines. Pretty much everybody watching this is going to know that, I'm sure. And this first magazine is a 7-round magazine, and as you can see, it's still loaded from when I had it. What do I have in this at the moment? I've got the Hornady Critical Defense, and I haven't run a lot of rounds of anything through this because of the ammunition shortage. of 2012, 2013. I've only got about 300 rounds through this so far, which isn't bad. But that's what I'm currently carrying in it. So you get the 7-round magazine, and you also get the extended 8-round magazine. I will be getting at least 2 more of each of them, so my goal will be to have 6 magazines altogether. I'd love to have 8 though, so if I can afford it, maybe someday I'll have 8. And it's just simply because you might as well get them while you can get them. Prices are probably only going to ever go up. I doubt they'll go down very much. And so there's firepower. Now, again, in my video that I compare the XD9 and the Shield 9, I talk about the firepower a little bit in that. And so this particular pistol, I can have 7+1 or 8+1, which means all total I can have 16 rounds if I have a full magazine of 7, a full magazine of 8, and 1 round in the chamber gives me 16 rounds. The XD9 gives me 17 rounds, 16 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber, and no reloads. For me, for concealed carry, I think I'd rather have the not reload, because boy, if I've learned anything in the last few years of competing against other people, you can lose valuable seconds during a reload. So I'd rather have the full round count in one pistol and do it that way. But the trade-off is the XD9 is single stack. Sorry, the XD9 is double stack, and that means it's bulkier, and in warm weather it's really tough to conceal without wearing, you know, bulky jackets and things. And I don't know about you, but I'm not going to wear a leather jacket in July or August when it's 95 degrees out just to conceal. So the M&P 9 fits that role very nicely, because it is quite a bit smaller, a little bit lighter, and definitely easier to conceal. Okay, next talking point is accuracy. This and the XD both, I think, are bet your life weapons. I think the accuracy of them is probably excellent to outstanding. I know the XD is outstanding. One of these days I'll show a couple of targets I've done with that I credit to the handgun itself and not to my ability, because I can't do it consistently. So what we're going to do is we'll roll in some targets here a little bit. I had already talked about it. I didn't put a lot of rounds through it up to this point. I'm over 300 now as of August 30th. Yeah, today's August 30th, and 2013. So here's the first target. These are seated from a makeshift rest, not anything super stable, but enough to, you know, kind of center and steady things a little bit. So here's the first one. This is Cellular and Bellet 115 grain full metal jacket, and I remember pulling this. So there's the flyer way down there, and I just made a little note that it was a bad pull, and that was guaranteed that one was me, because I still remember this one a month and a half later. Now to the top of this, there's 5 shots here. We have a 4-shot group at the top, and a couple cool things about the 4-shot group are that, you know, it's fairly tight. It's 2.25 inches roughly. I did measure it, and I used a caliper just to try to be as precise as I could be. So it's 2¼ inches, 10 yards seated from a makeshift rest, and I'm happy with that. That doesn't bother me at all. Now the second thing, of course, is the 3-shot group. If you discount the 2 furthest shots, right here, let's use this pointer. I love this. This is 1.115 inches, so just a little over an inch. Here, let me get this a little better on camera. There we go. And I'm thrilled with that. 10 yards, I know everybody that's really good at this can do this 2 inches at 25 yards maybe. I'm not that good. Probably never will be. But if I can do this at 10 yards or less, I'm going to take it. I won't argue with that at all. Next corner here is PMC 115 grain full metal jacket, seated from a rest. And same thing on this one. I've got the odd weirdo flyer down here, so we have to blame this on the shooter, which in this case of course is me, and that's just my lack of inconsistent ability. So we're going to discredit that one shot out of the 5, excuse me. And the 4-shot group on this opened up a little more. This one's 2 3/4 inches instead of 2 1/4. So what does that tell you? It's me, you know, more than it is the pistol. I would take credit or lack of credit for, you know, for the group. Now the best of 3 is right here, and that is 1.63, or just a little over an inch and a half. Same thing. I'm happy with that. I'm going to take that. I don't have any issues with. I think these other 2, the Flyers, would tighten up if I were a better rest shooter, or a better shooter in general. Okay, bottom of the target here, we have, obviously, I did everything I was supposed to do correctly, and really shows, you know, that the pistol itself is accurate. Check it out. This group is, oh boy, I only wrote one of the numbers down. What a dummy. 1 inch across is the widest out of 5 shots. There's a 4-shot group that's 1 hole. What more can you say? So the weapon's accurate, and I think that pretty much just sums it up. I will show you a couple more that I did because I think it's interesting comparison-wise, but if it likes the ammunition you're feeding it, you can do really well if you do your part. Now in the center here is the big target. You know, I should have done really well on the big target, right? I did horribly on the big target. This is really bad. And there's only 4 shots here, so I must only have 4 rounds of this left. A little bit limited in ammunition supply, as we all are this year. And so I had to use kind of what I had. Now this was the only self-defense round. This is Winchester PDX-1, 124 grain, jacketed hollow point, and it is a plus P round. So because there's a little more snot to it, if you will, maybe this opened up because of my lack of experience with plus P ammunition. So I'm going to give myself the credit for the big group, but I'm going to say that the strength of the load might also be a factor in that I don't, you know, I don't fire powerful rounds, 357 Magnum, 44 Magnum, you know, 454 big block, yeah, right, no, that's car stuff. So this is pretty horrible at any rate. Go back to this. It's 4 inches for the largest overall group size, 2 inches for the closest shots, which should be those 2 right there. This is another cellular and pellet target. What I did on these, this is 7 yards standing, no rest, basically more or less simulating firing on a person. So what I used was the 25-yard slow pistol NRA target, and 5 shots, and this is good. I'm really happy with this because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5-shot group is only 2.3 inches. The 4-shot group right here is 1.9 inches, and then this 3-shot group is 0.57 inches, so just slightly over ½ an inch. That's at moderate pace too. This I probably will unfortunately show me a little bit, but I think what I'll do is I will roll in the live footage of this target and the next target I'm going to show you, just so you can see the pace that I fired at. And there's target number 1 of the 7-yard. Let me grab the second one here. So to quote that movie, Christmas Story, he's a deadeye. If you don't know that movie, which I believe everyone must, the main character in the movie wants a Red Ryder BB gun, and so there's a dream sequence where, you know, he gets all the bad guys, and I believe it's the dad says he's a deadeye, you know, meaning he's a good shot. So this one here, what do you see this? This is just outstanding for me. Get the odd flyer there, alright? This is 7 yards standing, moderately paced, and the 5-shot group is 2.5 inches. Trying to get all, there we go, trying to get this all on camera. The 4-shot group is only 1.3 inches right here, And check it out, man, the 3-shot group is 0.75 inches, so 3/4 of an inch. And that's what we're going to call simulated battle conditions or simulated self-defense defense conditions. So I think the accuracy of the shield is excellent, outstanding, based completely on, of course, your technique and marrying it up to the particular ammunition that your pistol likes. In summary, on accuracy, I believe it's accurate. I think you can bet your life on it. I think the reliability will match the accuracy, and if you have it on you and you should happen to need it for something, I believe you'll be able to bet your life on it. If you do your part and are responsible in how you use your weapon under the circumstances it's being used under, then I don't think you're going to have any issues with hitting what you shoot at. Next talking point is ergonomics, and how does this feel in hand, and you know, what do I think of it in terms of handling it, of course. Well, I didn't think I was going to like this. I really didn't think I'd like having my pinky hang off. Now, with the 7-round magazine, which I will put in real quick here, it's not as bad. I have medium-sized hands, between medium and large, kind of big palm, short fingers, and so this fits pretty well in hand for me. If you've got extra large or real large hands, this may not be a very good choice for you. With the 8-round extended magazine in it, pop that in real quick. That's much better. This I like. Now, what I did decide to do is, if I'm going to carry it, I'm going to carry it with the 7-round magazine, and that way it'll print a little bit less through my clothing. But I actually would prefer to carry it with this, and I may yet do that. I may change that as I own it and as I carry it. But as far as the ergonomics of the grip, it's very comfortable to carry. Now, it's a little deep this way, which I like, so from the front to the back. Even though I have smaller hands, I do prefer a larger grip. And single stack, I didn't think I was going to like carrying a single stack, or I should say firing a single stack. I'm really not crazy about the narrowness. It's nice for carry, but it's not nice to get your hands around it. And so for me, the double stack's the way to go. But as I said earlier, in warm weather, this carries nicely, it conceals nicely. So I learned I'm okay with it, even though it does feel just a little skinny for me. I don't have a lot of hand strength, a little bit of hand issues. The spring on this is pretty tight. I have to pull pretty good on that to get that to actuate. I do prefer, this is my thing, I prefer to lock the slide back, and then when I put a magazine in to chamber around, I prefer to release the slide, as opposed to, you know, the more common way of everybody racking the slide that way. Just personal preference. I did some reading once, and they say that the first round accuracy when you rack by hand is different than when you allow the recoil spring mechanism and the whole assembly, the way it's designed. When you allow that to slingshot forward, I've read where they, I guess they've proven that changes the accuracy a little bit on that first round. With that in mind, I just slingshot the slide forward. I've been doing that with my XD since I got it. Never had any problems. If you have, sorry to hear that, but it's the way I do it, and I'm not going to change. Unless somebody gives me a real good reason not to do it. Slide serrations on the back only. They're good. You can get good purchase on it. You can get a good hold on it. Nothing on the front, so if you want to press check it, you can still get hold of it. I think instead of serrations, they've got all the, you know, all the engraving here, and that engraving works pretty much like serrations. I can get a good hold on that and see if there's a round in it, which you can see there is not. It does have a chamber check right there. When you see brass, it's hot. You'll know. And has a safety I don't like. I don't like safeties at all. I don't mind the grip safety on the XD. It's just there. You don't even know it. Trigger safeties don't bother me. Same thing. You don't even know it. But I really don't like thumb-activated safeties. It's just my own personal take on it. So if you like a safety, it's there. If you don't like a safety, it's there. I do carry it with the safety off, and I do find myself every so often I'll reach back in under my shirt and I'll make sure, and every so often it's up, and I'm assuming that it's rubbing up against something, against me, against the holster maybe, and it does pop up. But I do my best to make sure that that thing is on fire and not on safe. And if I do have to draw it, it's ready and I can control it. I don't need that thing to control it for me. Not that bad at it. I don't need some lawyer-approved, government-approved safety on my firearms. Our next talking point is field strip and maintenance. I've cleaned it a few times. I'm real good about keeping them clean. Need to clean some of the lint and stuff off the sights from carrying it, but I'm real good about cleaning everything I own. My personal take on it is, if you're going to bet your life on it, treat it accordingly. I know some of the guys I shoot with in a weekly league, they don't clean them until they stop cycling, and all they do with the guns that they're not cleaning is compete with them, and they say that their take on it is cleaning a weapon before you fire it in a competition is the kiss of death. I've heard that so many times, and my take on it is, if you clean it all the time, one, it's easier to do because you keep at it. Two, you know how to do it, so it goes quicker. And three, if you do need it, I mean, even if it's a race gun that you're going to compete with, and it happens to be what's at hand, and someone's in your house that doesn't belong there, you know, don't you want it to run for you? So it's a little quirky in that inside here, I'm not sure if we'll be able to get it on, there it is. Inside here there's a little lever that you have to depress or release, depending how you look at it, to finalize the takedown. So I'm actually going to do this on camera because it'll be cool if I get it right, and it'll be cool if I get it wrong, because then you'll get to see what's involved, and maybe that'll help you with yours. So slide. Oh yeah, this is tight. Everything on this was really tight when I got it. The trigger, I will talk about at some point, but I'll make sure I get it in somewhere by including it here. The trigger was really stiff feeling and gritty when I got this. So I put a snap cap in it, and I fired about 300 rounds dry fire in 2 nights. I did 150 rounds one night, did 150 rounds the next night. Pull back on the slide just a crack, set the striker, pull the trigger, pull on the slide, set the striker, pull the trigger, and I did that 2 nights in a row, and the trigger got to be really nice after that. So I don't have a trigger gauge. One of these days I'll get one of those, to be able to measure everything. But for now, I don't know what it really is. It feels good, and I like it. I tend to shoot well with this at this point. So continuing with the takedown, let's see, what do I got up here that I can quickly access? Down inside here there's a little yellow lever, and I'm going to push that forward, and hopefully I'll be able to do this so that we can see it on camera. Hey, a flashlight. Be right back. Let's see what happens now when I release the slide. There we go. It does come right off. And that's what I thought it was, but I couldn't remember. So there's your slide assembly. There's your captive recoil spring. There's your barrel. And there she is. Pretty nifty little contraption, of course. P226 does not have a captive spring. The M&P Shield and my XD9 both have a captive spring, and I love the fact that it can't go psing and just shoot out and you go looking for parts, although I haven't done that with the 226 that I can remember. Alright, so there's the slide. I'll put it back together. Not much to do. Barrel. Have to make sure I get the right recoil spring in the right orientation. There it is. Nope. Never can remember how to get that spring back in there without, well, of course with the camera in the way, that's not helping. I've only cleaned this 3 or 4 times, so. There we go. Can I remember how to slide that sucker back in there? Let's go back on camera. Line that up. Push it back. Lock it open. She's done. And if you look down inside, grab the old trusty cheap flashlight here. When I put the magazine in, it'll reset that yellow lever so that it's back where it belongs. And there it is. So that's it. Taken down, cleaned, put back together. So field strip's easy, maintenance is easy. It's just like pretty much anything else out there. Not a lot to it. Once you do it a few times, it's pretty easy. Okay, accessories and versatility. Give us, all kind of options out there for holsters. I'm guessing there's probably 30, 40 different holsters now out there between Galco and Phobos probably has one. I didn't look. Crossbreed. You name it. Pretty much everybody out there. There's generic like this, like the NRA inner waistband. There's generic holsters that'll work for it. So accessories will be cake. I don't think you'll have any trouble finding anything for it. I don't think there's a lot you want to do to it myself. It does not have a rail. You can't put a light on it. That's a bummer. I would like to be able to have a light on it, even though obviously I probably wouldn't carry one with a light on it. But at home, if I had a second one especially that I left around the house, it would be nice to have the light on it. Someday I possibly will replace the sights with fiber optic or maybe tritium. I don't know. If Smith & Wesson does that, I'm sure they do. I haven't contacted them to find out. Springfield does. I had it done on my XD9. And someday I'll probably have it done on this as well. So holsters, magazines direct at this point from Smith & Wesson. I don't know if anyone else is making magazines that are compatible with it. Next talking point, value, pricing. I paid $460 for it, and what list price on it I believe is $450. So yeah, I paid a little bit more. Neat story. I ordered this because I figured I was going to have to wait a good 3, 4, maybe 5 months. With as bad as things are in 2013. I thought, well, get it on order now. The guy that I ordered it from, he'd let me do it without money down. He knew he could sell it if I didn't want it. And so I had him order it. Well, 2.5 weeks later, I get a phone call. It was in. It came in. He just managed to get one. And the thing was, he called me on a Wednesday, and he's open, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I told him, I said, the earliest they can get down is Friday, probably Saturday. And he was a little nervous. He's like, oh, well, are you sure you want it? Do you really want to take it? And I'm like, yeah, well, I just want to, I want to hold it in hand and I want to look it over first. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy it. And of course, the reason he wanted to know is because he had, I think he wasn't expecting to get it that quick. He had other people interested in it. When I got there, he had a 40 and a 9. And I decided to do the 9. I don't want a 40 this small, I don't think. I don't have any experience with 40 Smith & Wesson. But so he had the 40 and the 9, and really was hot to sell them both. And the 40 took a little longer, but the 9 I think he could have sold probably 5 times over from the sounds of it. So as far as price goes, $460 as of, April, I think it was, 2013. And I don't think I've seen any more since then. I might have seen one more 40 and maybe one 9, but still not finding a lot of them out there, at least in the area of the country that I live in. And I guess I'm not supposed to show serial numbers, right? That's okay. So as far as value goes, I think it's Bet Your Life reliable. I think it will be... I think this will serve me for many, many years. I'll take good care of it like I do everything I own. And it'll get handed down to somebody, and they'll be able to make use of it. And I think it'll last 2 or 3 lifetimes with the proper maintenance. And our next talking point is durability and versatility. 300 rounds. I already said that a little bit ago. So I don't have a lot of rounds through it by any stretch. I expect 20, 30, 40, 50,000 rounds out of it or more without issues. I really don't foresee any problems with it. I think it's well made. I think for 2 reasons. One, well, 3 reasons. One, Smith & Wesson reputation. If they make something that's garbage, their reputation suffers. They can't afford to do that. They want everything to be as good as it can be because they want their reputation intact. Number two, this is designed to defend yourself. This has to work. They can't design something that won't function when the chips are down. So I think you'll be able to count on it. So I think durability is not going to be an issue. And I forgot my third reason now. Isn't that awesome? If I think of it, I'll chime back in with it in a little bit. I guess third maybe was lawsuits. You know, they can't afford to be sued because they make an inferior product and something that's unsafe. And so we'll use the term, the protectionists, of course, will seize that. If they can determine that this thing is unsafe for people to own and use, then there's an inroad for them to get yet more silly legislation passed. Hey, my battery's running down here. I don't know if I'll finish this out. May have to pop in some new batteries. I'll pause and see if I can finish this up on the batteries I have left. Track record. Well, I think it's going to inherit the legacy of the whole M&P line, which I believe from all that I've read is fast becoming equal to the Glock series and to the Sig Sauer P226 series and the Beretta, the M9, and the 92 series. This will probably follow right in line with that legacy of the M&P series. I don't think you can go wrong with it. Nothing bad to say about it with my limited experience. It is bet your life dependable. That's my take on it. And I will bet my life on it, bet my family's life on it, that this will work when I need it to. The other thing was, I mentioned earlier that I like to use the slide release to slingshot the slide forward. When I got it, I could hardly actuate the slide release. It was so stiff and so tight. It was very, very difficult to get it to work. Well, over time, you can see it's still a little tough. My XD is super sweet. You just pull down on it and it goes. This one here still takes a little bit of effort. I'll do it from a little different angle here. And I'm squeezing. Yeah, on that angle, it's very, very difficult to do. But it has loosened up a little bit, so that's been a good thing. This has been no change. And oh, one more thing. I know there was one more thing I wanted to show here. So I'm going to load this on camera. Did you see that? Watch this. Look at what it takes to seat that magazine. And that has not changed since I got it. And it seems to do it with both the 7-round and the 8-round, if I remember right. Yeah, the 8-round seats a little better. So there's something up with that 7-round magazine. This one, because of the extra real estate on it, is very easy to tap it to get it to seat. This one here, though, what I found is I actually hit my hand, and I'm kind of hitting it on purpose to give you the idea. But you have to make sure you use this part. If you try that with it, if you don't get it exactly right, it's very difficult to seat that magazine. So I'm going to contact Smith & Wesson about that. That would be the only thing I would pick apart on it. Overall, I don't even mind the trigger being scratchy. I don't mind this being hard to actuate. To me, it's just tight tolerances for parts, and that explains those away. Probably the same here, but this one's a little more dangerous to me in terms of what's what I'm looking for? I guess in terms of ergonomics. If this thing doesn't quite seat right, then that could be a problem. Could end up with that thing falling out of there when I least want it to. Alright, so let's pull that out, safety check it, she's clear, and there we go.
Okay, loader and ready. Yeah. Shooter ready?
Well, how did the big one fall?
You came back and shot the big one. Oh.
Big one. I'm going to go readjust that.
Bye.
Shooter ready? Stand by. Oh man, Lee.
Okay, I'm ready to push the button. Reload. You lose.
It won't fall.
The winner, when he shoots his, locks the other guy up in his spot. After the second or third shot, you should have figured this out.
Well, we're going to end with this. Thank you for watching this. If nothing fancy, if you happen to watch this, please take this as a, as a tribute, as a way of saying thank you. This is not meant in any way, again, to capitalize on what you do. It's just a way to say thank you for what you do and fill a little, maybe a little niche that isn't being filled right now until your review comes along. Get a chance to buy a shield if this is something you would like, this size and this weight and this feature set of a handgun. Go for it. I do not think you're going to regret it. I think in 40 would probably just as nice as in 9mm. Someday I'll be able to buy 40 and get some experience with that, but my funds are so limited I just can't do that yet. And I may get an M&P 40 someday. I may find I like that better. I may find I don't like it as much. I don't know. But on my own personal scale, I'm going to give this 10 out of 10. I don't think you can go wrong with it. I think everything about it is excellent to outstanding. And I really appreciate that you stood with me this long, or sat with me this long to watch this review. And thank you. Shoot safe. Protect what you love. And do good things. Thank you.